All right, yes, same kind of deal with us as Coach Felderman was just talking about. Is you go on the road and you play some of those Northern Sun schools, and one of the top conference around, and been doing it for a while. Whether it's the old NCC schools that they've been right there as far as playing on a bunch of D1s and that kind of stuff too, and big bodies and just good athletes, and They did. They kind of took it to us. Obviously, in our situation this year, we all know where we're at with a couple red shirts. Redshirting top two kids basically returning from last year, losing 4 seniors. We started a couple freshmen. All that stuff. It's going to be the same thing all year long. And a great question came to Coach Collins of, well, when are we freshmen going to be ready? And the thing with that is you really don't know. I mean, everybody's a little bit different, but we've had plenty of transfers that have came in. We've had plenty of junior college kids, and it's still a learning process, even though they're 21 years old. So when you get a freshman that are learning, and they're not physically ready, and they're not this, and they're not that. I mean, it's a lot of things that are thrown at them, and you get that with the junior college kids as well. So I know all our programs are kind of there right now with, we as coaches, we as fans and alumni and stuff, we want to get them there now, and everybody's different. Everybody takes a little bit of time, but it's sure nice to see those glimpses that we've all seen with them, and the Chanelec kid that we talked about last week, and had a great game, and big reason why we beat Kearney. He had 16 points against Augie again. So you get glimpses of those kids that you hope can step it up and be there in the near future. Hopefully sooner or later. But he's a kid that can do that. The rest of the time it was a bunch of big bodies. Connor Koulis, for us that we wanted a red shirt this year, going against 260 senior, 260-pound junior and senior posts. It's a struggle for them. There's no question about it. We gave up 18 offensive rebounds against Augie. So, those things, when you look at stats and that kind of stuff, that's a lot of extra opportunities that we have to eliminate. And our guys just do it. They just have to keep fighting and keep battling and keep getting better. We're preparing right now for Black Hill State, and a lot of our preparation is about us. It's not so much about Black Hill State, and it's going to be that way, a lot of the year. The problem with our schedule right now is you get done with the 2 games out there, and okay, let's go work on these things, and this is what we got to do to get better, and nope, you got to go prepare for Black Hills. Then you go get down to the Black Hills game, and you're like, okay, now we can actually go work on some things. We know what we have to work on. No, we have 3 more games in this week. So it's a time where we need to practice. As much as the guys like to play and coaches like to coach in games and stuff. I love being at practice right now and seeing our guys get better. So, we're using some of those games not only as a practice, but an opportunity to get better. And I thought our first 60 minutes, 40 minutes at Augie, 20 minutes against Sioux Falls we were outmatched in some spots, especially physically and whatnot. But that second half of the Sioux Falls game, it finally felt like things started to actually slow down for the guys, whether it was on the offensive end, defensive end, whatever. But it did. It felt like they were starting to finally get comfortable with what in the world just got thrown at them. So we're excited about that, but we do. It's a long process. There's no question about it, whether or not the wins and losses, we're not as worried about that right now as us just getting better, because we know if we compete, we play hard, to do the things that we're supposed to do, we got a chance. But, we did have a couple more injuries, not even an injury. We had our point guard, Dennis, the kid from Poland, was sick all week, so he drove up the day of. He didn't know our scout. We changed our scout a little bit for Augie and how we're going to defend him and what we're going to run on the offensive end, and he showed up and subbed in for a couple minutes here and there just to give a break, and that's your starting point guard. And then Kelvin Thomas was out again for 2 games. So it's tough to go there with full guy, full strength and that kind of thing. I don't know if we still could have won and that kind of stuff, but at least we would have maybe felt a little bit better of how we started those games. So like I said, I think even in both of them, we were right there. Second half, you look at scoring and that kind of stuff, and maybe we got outscored by a couple, or even might have beat them in the second half as far as points go and stuff. So yeah, we're making our improvements. We're excited about our young guys. We're excited about our new guys. Trinipal kid, AJ, I believe, and this is pretty sad, but I think he's at 1,001 points. I think he got over the 1,000 mark. 1,004. He's over. Okay, so yeah, he's over the 1,000-point mark, which is pretty cool, and we're hoping it could get there this weekend. Hopefully the results were a little bit different, that he would score enough points to help us through. But yeah, like I said, it's kind of bad that I don't know that. I got done at the game and watched some tape on the way home, and 8 o'clock in the morning, or get home about 2:30, 3 o'clock. I was just telling Table back there, and then I got to recruit in at 8 o'clock in the morning, go have breakfast, hang out with him all day, and do all the stuff, and go eat. Let him go at 4:30, and a new one came in at 5 and is here this morning again. So, it never ends. And then we're preparing for Black Hills, and then we go to have those 3 games at home. So it's good to have good assistance. I'll tell you that right now when we're running around and taking care of some other things too. So, but that's with Viterob, I guess, is looking forward past the BH game. Viterob is a very good team. We played them out in La Crosse. They're from Wisconsin, and I think they beat Jamestown by about 20 when they played them earlier this year, and Jamestown lost to Augie by a few points. So once again, got good teams coming back up here. Dakota Wesleyan, we always know how good Dakota Wesleyan is, and then a Great Falls team that we actually beat in exhibition, and I think that's their only loss, and they've played like 8 games. So I didn't see how they did once again this past weekend, but very good competition. I know with the women, they have some very good teams coming up here again too, and it's always a fun U.S. Bank Classic, and we always have good crowds and stuff too, so it's a fun atmosphere. Any questions?
We have such a shy group.
I'll ask a question since Kaiser's not here to ask 5 of them. Tuesday against BH, we've got some matchups, and they've got some people coming back from being redshirted. Are there any particular parts of that you're thinking about as you go into that are going to cause us a challenge?
Oh, no question. And the one thing with them is if they shoot one of our alumni had emailed me this morning, and I was just like, well, hey, if they make their shots, we're in trouble, and it sounds like, well, yeah, if they make their shot. Well, with Black Hills, as you'll see, and what you've seen in the past is they let it fly. I mean, they come down and they'll shoot a 3 fading away with 2 guys on them. I mean, you just never know. And if those things go in, if we don't have our hands up, if we don't keep them in front of us, guys are penetrating and pitching, and they're getting those easy looks. They're always a very good shooting team. And one of the kids that they redshirted, kind of like us, what we did this year, with redshirting Michael Dietz and Lance Kilborn, is they redshirted the Adler kid and the Meg kid actually too. Meg ended up getting hurt, but basically those were 2 of their best players that they would have had last year. And they did. They struggled last year. They got a lot of guys with a lot of minutes. Now they're going to be competitive this year. They're going into the conference down the RMAC. But with the Adler kid, I mean, I think he had 18, I believe, against South Dakota State. Then they played him this year, and he's capable of getting 25. On 8 shots, but he's a guy that will also take 25 shots, and if half of them go in, he can get 40 too. So it's one of those things with matchup wise. The Meg kid's another one that's a very good player for him. He's playing more of the 4 spot, little bit thin inside, kind of like the women. That's something that we got to take advantage of. But to be honest, I thought we could have taken advantage of that a little bit more this weekend and get some more touches in the block with Andrew and Caleb, and we do. We just have to do a better job of that. So, but overall, they pretty much got their starting 4 or 5 back. Plus, you had a couple of those red shirts that would have been starters the year before, and they're going to be a solid team. Anything else? All right. Once again, I do want to thank you all again. Got a good crowd again today. So hopefully we can, get BH up there and, keep plugging away. But look forward to getting 3 home games, and then we play again next Saturday, the 1st against Dickinson, and then we're not home for a while again. So hopefully you guys can come this weekend. Thank you.